Hello, this is Judy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be working on Chrissy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, round number 9, sketch number 13. And the Dotty About Flare prompt is sequins. And this sketch is really lovely. I like the doilies and the flowers. It's really pretty and girly and right, but I'm going to use it for a boy. And it is made by Creative Scrappers and designed by Amaryllis Dorio. I don't know if I butchered that name, but it's a beautiful sketch. I'm going to be turning it and put it like this, and we'll have the title going across this way because I have two portrait photos that I'm going to use. And these are the two photos, my daughter and my grandson, and they are just such happy-go-lucky photos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this totally on my Cricut with a bunch of images from Close to My Heart that they put on as SVGs and Cricut collections, variety of things. I'm going to pull it all together and make these from that, and maybe some doilies from my Cricut Design Space account. So I'll be back and have all of that to lay out and show you, and it'll be a really easy and short video because it's going to be all cutting out and adhering, and that'll be about it. I probably will ink the edges of the flowers, and I'm going to do some little animals and maybe some splatter around the background, but the sequins too. And I think I'll use heart doilies. So I will be back in just a second and show you what I got. Okay, I've got all my pieces cut out of the Cricut, and while it was cutting, I went ahead and found these mats, and none of them are big enough for my photos. So because I had 4 of them and they're already dry embossed with an embossing folder that Close to My Heart had, it's a wood grain, I think I'm going to make some mats like this to put them on. And I'll probably trim them down. We'll see how that goes. Depends on how it looks on the layout once I get it done. And before I show you all that, I was going through my little box of crafty stuff and pulled out, well, those, I don't want to put them back in there because I'll lose them. Pulled out some of the things that I have, but if you have like little trays, this is all miscellaneous stuff that was left over from projects. I always put it in here and then I try to use them as I'm making things. And this is another one. This is a tray from Close to My Heart. I wish they made her in white, right? So these are a bunch of the things that I had laying out, and look at, I found these little monkey embellishments. So I think I'm going to be able to use those, and there's this little frog one. And you know, there's a bunch of little things. I even found this little giraffe. Now I have this horse too, but look, they're both fun and whimsical, but not the same kind of feel, right? So this would be good. Even this little fox would be good. They kind of had the same feel, but the horse just doesn't meet that same kind of idea. And the turtle would work too. So those are ones that I could pull out. And there's this little horse. He might be able to go. He might be okay. So we'll see. And then there are some flowers too for the wreath element. So I'll hold those out and put those with it. And I want to show you how I cut my Cricut mats. So I didn't have any of this big enough mat for this green that I cut. So I used a new sheet, and that's fine. These ones, I put the paper, my scraps, on different sections here to fit them all on one and cut. The giraffe was good, but that's the problem with, you know, cutting with your scraps, but it is using up your scraps. So, you know, there's pros and cons to everything. And again, this is a piece, so I'm using up a lot of my scrap paper this way. And then I'll take this and I'll cut it down, and I'll put this back into my color bin for red. Okay, and then I just placed it on my computer where I wanted it to cut so that I could use up these little pieces of this paper. And then again I will cut this down and add this back to my scraps. So it's nice to use up a lot of your scraps in that fashion. So I'll get the rest of these pulled out and put down on the mat and show you what I come up with. And I always cut out the middle of these pieces that aren't going to show to save on paper. Look at all the hearts I have for another project, right? So there's another layer. See, I'm ready to start layering my letters, so I just wanted to show you how I do that. And I use my tweezers. They are really sharp and very pointed and hold everything perfectly. So I put a dollop of this Tombow Mono liquid glue on some scrap paper, and I'm going to just tap my letter in the glue, and then I'm going to get the excess glue off of it. And then I can put it on here and I don't have to worry about any seepage. Usually, there's no seepage anyway. It makes it so easy to get these thin, intricate letters, or even thinner, intricate letters onto a piece without getting a lot of glue everywhere or all over my fingers, right? Okay, these are all the pieces. I got them all glued together, so I thought I'd just show you what it looks like, and we will proceed on. These are the two pieces here. Again, we'll look at the sketch. Remember, I was going to turn it, so I've got the scallop pieces here. This will be for, I'll have to get a white piece, I don't have that yet, to go under the title, or maybe I can use a colored piece of cardstock, and this will go on the side of it. And then my photos I've got to get onto these mats, so they're going to go down here. And I think I made these animals a little too big, but I'm going to try and make them work because I don't want to have to cut them out all over again. So the photos will go here, the little animals. Then I can poke the flowers and the leaves out from underneath. This is going to be so cute. Used up a lot of my scraps as well. And I think I might even put googly eyes on them. Okay, just wanted to show you these perfect layer tools in case you've never seen them before. When you're matting your photos, a lot of people will take scissors and cut. Sometimes I like to have a more precise mat on my photos, and I will pull out these perfect layers. Now they come in a lot of different companies, will make them. I think We Are Memory Keepers, I believe, has some of that are available. These are from a company that doesn't carry them anymore, so I'm not even going to mention that. But they last forever. They have a metal edge, and it has, you can see little layers here and here for cutting. So on one side it'll have a 1/4, an 1/8, 3/8, and 5/8, and you just flip it to use the other layers. And then there's another one with the another 4 measurements. So no matter what size mat you want, you can usually find it with these layering guides. So you just line it up to your photo and run your X-Acto knife, and this is from Cricut. I love these. The blades are easy to change, and they're good for someone with arthritic fingers because it's a larger grip and it's rubber grip, so it doesn't slide. Some of the knives, X-Acto knives I had, have been metal and they will slide when I'm pushing on them. This one doesn't do that, so these are really nice. Now, any of the things that I get through Cricut, you can go through my affiliate link and order it, and I will get just a small bit of compensation. It doesn't cost you anything else, but it does help me out. If you go online, you can go to my website through Close to My Heart, stampinforever.closetomyheart.com, and that link is in the video description. And at the very bottom of the shopping screen, there's a little Cricut symbol, and you click on that and it will take you to Cricut, where you can buy our Cricut cartridges or any of the tools that you may use with your Cricut machine, or, you know, a cutting knife like this. and it just, you know, helps me out. So if you do buy anything through Cricut, please use my affiliate link. I would really appreciate it. Okay, now moving on. So this is the other photo. He's cute. I really like the two layers of different colors. They're close enough where it's not distracting, but it is very eye-catching. All right, this is kind of how I want to have it arranged. I want to add something to the outside for a border. I could layer it onto a darker piece of paper, but it's already going to be heavy enough because there was 1, 2, 3, 4 layers with the doilies, and this is 5. So I think I'm going to just stamp a border, and then otherwise pop things up on pop dots and ink the edges to make them stand out a little bit more. But how adorable is this? I may even use my journaling pen to add some highlights with my black one and then my white one as well. And I will get the googly eyes for the animals and see how those fit. I got my Distress Oxide because I like these for inking the edges. And I got peeled paint, vintage photo, peacock feathers, and spiced marmalade to ink the edges of my pieces. So I'll get out my little inking tools for the spiced marmalade. Now see, a little piece of his little horn here was cut off, so I'm going to see if I can ink it to disguise it, and if not, I'll color it with a marker. It doesn't look like it did much of anything. The shiny paper probably won't need much of the inking anyway. It's a little bit of color. I don't know if you can see it on camera. So let's see. Let's get a brown marker for his horn. That looks good. So we can do a couple of these, just add a little color to the edges. This works well for pieces that maybe didn't line up really well. I'm going to ink the edges of my photos as well. Okay, these are some of the stamps that I pulled out just in case I could use them, but I think I'm not going to because I have them cut out of the Cricut. But this is what the collection is. It's a Sweet Safari. And then I was trying to find something else that was baby, something for a border, and I could always use this little heart with the leaves. That would go well with this since I have hearts and leaves. And then this one is another one that had baby things, and it has this little scallop, fun scallop border. So I'm gonna look at that real quick and see how big it is, because the picture is always smaller than the actual stamp is. Oh, it is pretty tiny. So let's see how big the other one is. Oh, that's much bigger. So that would fit around the page a lot quicker than the other one. So let's pull on a stamp block in there, and I'm going to go with a tone on tone. I think I'll go with Glacier, and I'm just going to stamp the same thing all the way around. Okay, now that's done, so let's get our layers on here. And this is my doily background. I'm going to use the Tombow Mono. I could use a tape adhesive, but this is less expensive. And if I only use a little bit, my paper will be okay. Make sure you go sparingly on glue like this. The next thing is to put my little scallop layer, and it's going to go like this. It's going to go here. We're going to put the you and me on it. I kept this off to the right a little bit because I'm going to put some flowers over here. I'm not going to put glue along the edges just in case I want to tuck anything down. Now if I put this on my Versamat, I can judge the middle pretty well. And now the photos. I think I was going to go this way. Okay. I'm going to leave enough room to do a little journaling. Okay. So now we're going to build our little animal design. Oh, I've still got to decorate my leaves with my journaling pen. Okay, so I'm just going to take my black journaling pen, and this is an 05, so it's the widest that we have. And I'm going to see what side I want to do. I think I'll do the darkest side on this one. I'm just going to go down along the middle to add some lines. I could do some veins, just to add a little more definition to these. It doesn't have to be realistic. Now we have white jelly roll pens. These are from Sakura. And to get it started, I always go on my fingertip. It kind of heats up that ink that's in the end of the pen. And then you're not going to press hard, you just let the ball roll and distribute that ink. And don't go real fast either. Go slow. Give it time to come out of the pen. They're all done. Let's bring the layout back in. So we know about where we're going to have our animals and about where we have the flowers. So I'm going to adhere them down. Use our greenery. And I did 3 of each of these so that I had an even distribution of color and texture. All right, so this is what I have so far. Did you see those little monkeys on there? Look at it. Right here's one riding on the back of the giraffe, and right here in the flowers. So cute. Then I added some of the little ladybugs, and I added some more of those flowers that were from my little tray of leftovers, and I've got a butterfly here. So what I have left are the googly eyes and some sequins. So I got all my googly eyes, and I keep them in this little tray here. So I've got them all together. And let's see, there's some in here that are loose I can use. I can use our liquid glass to hold them down to make sure they stay put. So use my tweezers to place them in the liquid. Oh, I'm going to put liquid glass on the ladybugs to bring them to life and make them shiny. These are the sequins that I pulled out. I've got green, a creamy white, and a brown. These do have adhesive on them, but I don't trust it, so I always try to put my own down. think I'm going to put some in the middle of these flowers. I'm going to stop before I too much. It's distracting. I don't like them there. So I'm going to take them off. The ones in the flowers are okay, so I'm going to have to get some little blue hearts to put there. Actually, what I can do is these. Like those a lot better. So no sequins for me, that was okay. I'll get these little hearts put down and that'll be it. So I hope you enjoyed this. I will have close-ups at the end, and make sure you check out everybody else who is following along with this sketch series. All the links are in the video description below, and I really appreciate you coming to join me today. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.